Hey guys, well last time we talked about copyright and copyright law. I'll put a link just where this guy's face is here. Yeah. This time we're talking about how to do a screen fight. I'm here with a couple of friends here. This is Paul. You've probably seen him in some of my other videos. And this here is Mark. He's an ex-wrestler turned nice man.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hand over to Mark for the moment. He's going to talk about safety before you start or even think about starting your screen fight.
Hello, I'm Mark from Night Media. Just helping John out with this tutorial on stage fighting, etc, etc. One thing you must think of first, I always account, is safety. It's always best before you do any scene, have a good loosen up. Now, there's loads of ways you can loosen up, warm up and all that. Best bet is to look at all the tutorials, as many as you can, on YouTube and find out which one suits you. Because I could show you the one I do, but it might not work for you. So what you need to do is loosen up, because if you notice, and also keep yourself warm, because if you notice, if you look at a lot of these behind the scenes videos on DVDs and whatnot about, you know how they do the certain stunt scenes and all that and fighting, if you'd notice when the guys doing it are actually being interviewed or while they're wandering around waiting, they're always keeping themselves warm. That's probably because they've just warmed up, stretched, and therefore you need to keep the muscles warm, because the last thing you want is to do a fight scene where you're swinging a punch or taking a punch where you click your neck back and you pull a muscle and you're finished. That's it, you're off for a week.
So the first thing we're going to talk about is timing. You've got to have pretty good timing when you're doing your stage fight. I'm going to show a demonstration of bad timing.
Yeah.
So as you saw, the punch was good, but Paul, he delayed when he did the snapping his head back and he moved the wrong way. So now we're going to show you good timing. Okay, so there you saw that they were both moving fluidly, moving naturally, and they both went the right direction for the way they were going. There is a technique that they refer to in Hollywood as boarding. I'm going to show you briefly. So I'm going to get Paul here. He's going to hold his arm up like this. And that is the angle you want to punch. So when you're punching, just keep a slight distance, because you don't want to sort of beat your talent unless they really pee you off. But keep it smooth about that distance. So if you move your arm away now.
Yeah, is acting as a pre-made distance marker.
Yeah, a pre-made distance marker.
Yeah.
Another thing to bear in mind is realism. If you punch someone, their head's going to go back. It's called the neck snap, and Mark's going to demonstrate it.
So a normal punch to the side, oh, like such. The other side, backwards. Be careful when you snap your neck back. Don't just drop your head back, whip it back, because you're going to injure. You could risk damaging the back of your neck. Try and bend your body and send your shoulders with it. Use your shoulders to bring your neck back.
Another thing to remember is that if you're in a real fight, it's all too fast, so you need to slow it down. Don't go too fast and elaborate your moves. Make them bigger than life. Another thing to think of is camera angles. So, something for you to try. Imagine there is a piece of string going from your camera to the nose. And the person who's doing the hitting, they've got to break the string. So you get an idea of what's going on. Now we're going to show you another couple of camera angles to give a nice effect for your film.
Right, now so far we've covered a lot about face and head punches, face and head movements, selling it, giving it, etc, etc. There's also things like stomach punch, you've got kicks, several different headbutts, but what we'll do, we're going a bit into stomach punches now. Now, a lot of stuntmen there's stuntmen that will say, as like, the person giving the punch is driving their fist, the stuntman will catch it, drive it in and make it look like, and so obviously he isn't going to get winded. Safety, again, safety. Keep thinking safety while you're doing these fight scenes, otherwise there's more chance of someone getting hurt. Okay, so you've got stomach, again, camera angles as well. If your camera's really close, I think they obviously, when they catch the punches, when the camera's at the side of them, and obviously you can see the fist and the belly, they drive it so it covers up the fact that the fist isn't actually hitting them. Again, if I was to have Paul facing away from me, I could do a stomach punch, and if he sells it, you're not going to know I haven't really hit him, because he's moving anyway. So there's going to, I mean, when you hit someone they've got clothes on, there's going to be movement in the clothes, etc, etc. So if I did a move, Paul, if you stand over here please, in line with the camera, just over, that's it, this way. Now when I do it, just go down like that, yeah? That's it. Now if I do a stomach punch, I'm going to do it slowly. It's only a normal thing like that, and he's gone down with it, you see? Now because of the angle, you know, if we'd have been side onto the camera, me and Paul would have had to go for it a lot more to get the timing right, because all but as John said before, timing is crucial amongst a lot of other things. So that's a bit about stomach punches. Just get your camera angles right, make sure you practice and get it right, because otherwise someone's going to get hurt and it could ruin a production. All right,
so to summarise what we've gone through, remember, safety first. Warm your muscles up. Last thing you want is a torn muscle or hurt ligament or something like that when you want to go to school or go to work the next day after filming. Remember, camera angles. Keep nice tight camera angles. Try not to show your talent missing the punch, and that, because that looks terrible.
Yeah, looks very. It looks like it's rushed as well. If you take your time with something, practice, as John was saying, we've said through this tutorial, safety, warming up, again, that's all part of safety. And also, there's a lot of videos out on these, like YouTube, etc., these sites that people film a fight scene. It's almost as if, look, I can pretend I'm throwing a punch at you, look, I can film it as well, and look, I'm going to put it on for the world to see. No, put a story behind it. I mean, you know, if you're going to do that, why not go whole hog and film someone reading the dictionary? You know what I mean? There's no point to it. If you create every story, even a fight scene, is all rehearsed. There's a point to it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be in the production. It's either telling a story itself or it's carrying a story through.
Also, try and keep it realistic. Don't try to make it look as though the hero is a superhero that no one can touch. Let him get hit a couple of times.
Yeah. And also, it's not in, as I said, it's not in, like in the wrestling, when you're putting on a performance for the audience and all that, and stuff like exhibition shows and all that. It's about how your target, if you like, so you know, I'm the guy giving the punch. If I was to do a punch to John, it's the way he sells it as well. It's not just a case of, oh look, because if he just stood there and, oh yeah, what was the point of doing it? You throw your punch, he's got to react well, not overreact, because if you're only just giving a little jab, he's not going to go flying 20 feet across the room, he's only going to jolt back a bit.
Unless it's scripted in that they're fighting someone who's got mega strength.
Yes, yeah, unless they're like, you know, Superman or something, fair enough.
Another thing, exaggerate your moves. If you're getting into a real fight, whether you're a boxer, you do karate, you keep your hands close into you. Boxers, they'll keep their arms in, fists up. Yeah. Or if you're doing Aikido or something like that, you're keeping your arms in. On screen, it looks like you're scared to be hit. So exaggerate your moves, exaggerate your positions. I want to thank Mark from Night Media and Paul, who now unfortunately had to go, for helping me today.
You're welcome.
Next time, I've had a couple of requests on how to do a script. So I'm going to give the basics on how to put a script together and how to embellish and how to enlarge on it. Bye for now.
See you later.